Well, hey everybody, it's Tom here. Welcome back to my shop. So this video is going to be a little different of sorts, no machining content. And this video sparked by one of the machinist forums I'm on. A member, I think his name is Dean, he posted a thread talking about your oops drawer, or basically thread repairs, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And the discussion took off, and I was going to write up a lengthy reply and put a whole bunch of pictures of what I got. And I thought, you know what, it may be better just to make a video, and then we can share the knowledge. I can tell you what I got in my drawer, what works, what doesn't work. You guys can say yeah, no, or this is what I use for this. As we know, every get or out situation is always different. There's always something going on, so it's not always cut and dry. I mean, it depends on the fastener. Is it broke proud of the parent material, like half an inch, so you've got something to grab, so that dictates your plan of attack. Is it broken flush? Is it broken below the parent material? All that you have to take into account how you're going to attack it. And then, of course, is the stud or bolt that broke, I mean, is it fairly soft, like grade 2, grade 5, or is it nice and hard, like a grade 8, or a really hard stud? So then going with high-speed steel is not going to touch it. You're going to have to go straight to carbide. So put in the comments what your drawer is like, what works for you, what doesn't. And I'm gonna move the camera around, and we'll slowly go through this and talk about it, and hopefully we'll all learn something. Hopefully that's a good position for you. Got you kind of hanging out there. So I kind of broke it down. All my thread repair stuff is here on the left half, and then on the right I kind of got the get or outs. This is a metric kit I picked up off of Amazon. It is M5, M6, 8, 10, and M12. I seem to be doing a lot more metric stuff, so I'm trying to keep these on hand. The set's pretty inexpensive for what it is. I'm not sure the quality of the thread inserts, but I imagine even these helicoil kits now are, the stuff's probably made overseas anyways. So all your standard ones, we've got what, 1024, 1032, all the way up to half an inch in coarse and fine. And most of the stuff I do, I use the helicoils, and it works out well. If I think the fastener is going to need a little more, oomph, I'll put red Loctite on it, and that works. I do have this, they call them Easy Lock, so if the thread is really boogered up, and depending on where it's at, maybe there's not enough meat, then you've got this style right here, where it's basically a thread inside a thread. So you screw this baby in, and it's already got its own, I guess, kind of Loctite stuff on it. So those work. And then don't have in here now, but like the other style, I call them like time certs. They look like this, but they have like 4 legs. So you screw this down in there, and then you hammer those legs, and they drive down in, and they grab 4 different areas on the side of the wall. So those are good too. So that's basically the thread repair once you've gotten the broken fastener out. Now, to get the fastener out, like you said, depends on the situation, whether you go to welding a nut onto it and then try to back it out that way, or take it over to the mill and either drill it out or go straight to end mills. Let's see here. So I got left-handed drill bits, which are always handy. This set is by Drill Hog, and I got the Niobium 41, so they're a little bit tougher to handle, you know, tougher fasteners. And you guys know Drill Hog. If you don't, they're good medium quality, but what's nice is they're warranted. So if you break one, you just send it to them and they send you a replacement. So I like Drill Hog. More left-handed drill bits in larger sizes. I do have some end mills, a couple left-handed. Actually, I got several left-handed. These are carbide. What is this, high speed or carbide? It's going to be high speed. And then, let's see here, some carbide drills. See that? 2-footer there. So it just depends on what you need to tackle the job. I picked these up, never used them. The concept is pretty good, but in actuality, so what is in the ideal situation is, I guess part of the fastener is still way down below the parent material, and so you're supposed to be able to screw this thing down in there and then drill it, because this is going to keep you on center, right? But how many times do you have the opportunity to get this main body down in the hole and then start drilling? So like I said, the concept is pretty good, but I've never had a situation to use this, and I've had these about 23 years. So yeah, that was kind of a waste of money. Alrighty, so then easy outs. We have a love affair with these things, right? There's 3 scenarios, right? You drive it in there, it grabs and it pulls it out. Yay. You drive it in there and it doesn't want to bite because the fastener is basically harder than your easy out, so it just wants to spin, right? Or third, you drive it in there and you start to, get it to move and snap. You break your easy out and now you just made your job twice as difficult. So I rarely go for the easy outs. This is a proto set, and this is the square style. So you drive this in and hopefully you can grab on, I guess you want to call it 4 flutes. And there is your standard easy outs, the spiral style. Left-handed drill bits or left-handed stuff, drills and end mills, and then this is Drill Hog's version of the 4-flute set. So this is a lifetime warranty, so if you break one of these, you get a replacement. As you see, I haven't really used them. Don't grab these very often. Once in a blue moon, I'll go for these. Let's see here. Back here, it's the same scenario. These are like kits. I think I bought them when I was first starting out. You try to outfit yourself with everything. So they give you the drill bit and also the easy out. I got 2 sets of those. And back here, you've got this style. So if the broken fastener or bolt is proud, you got enough meat, and you can see, drive this thing onto that put your ratchet on it, and hopefully it'll grab and pull out. But most of the time, usually this doesn't bite well enough, and it just kind of rounds it. You don't have much luck. So very limited application on these. As I said, it just depends on your situation. Maybe if you're working on a on a vehicle, let's say, and it's got a broken water pump bolt, can't really get in there to weld a nut on there. You don't want to pull the whole radiator and fan and, you know, unhook the hoses and drain the coolant and all that stuff. You know, sometimes, you know, something like this may work. So just good to have a variety in your arsenal. And then lastly, this is basically a collet and a, what would you call this? A master stud remover. So get your different size collets. This is 9, 16, 18. Screw her on if you've got threads. If not, you know, sometimes you can grab it if it's a smooth shank. Pull it in, and then now you've got, you know, a place to put a wrench on so you can pull it out. This also works to install too, so if you don't want to do the double nut method, so say you're putting studs in something, maybe a automotive hub, and you can use this and install them that way. So that's what I used this for a lot back in the day on automotive stuff. So. And I think that's basically it, you know, unless we go over to where all my drill bits are. You know, I've got cobalt drill bits to start off with if I think the fastener's kind of hard. If not, you know, I may just use regular, some sort of high-speed steel, a good quality bit, and then step it up. Then if you got to go to this stuff, you go to this stuff. It just depends on the situation, right? So this is my get her out thread repair drawer. Hey buddy, you patiently waiting? You're like, Dad's making another video, great. Hi. Lazy afternoon. Yeah, just hanging out in the shop. My favorite thing to do. All right, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So that's kind of my drawer. Leave in the comments down below if, you know, yours like mine, different, what you got in there that works, what you got in there that you found doesn't work. You know, it's always good to share the tips and tricks. That way we can all learn. And I appreciate you watching and hanging out with me. Welcome all my new subscribers. This is not my normal content, but I figured I would, you know, make this video, like I said, since there was a discussion on one of the forums. Normally we're machining and welding and fabricating. So just stick around. I'd appreciate it. And with that, it's going to be a wrap, and we'll catch you on the next video. All right, guys? Take care. Bye.